exhausting. I hope they do well. Alright, guys. I am bloody excited for this series. I think this man does have a chance. I would actually, and it's crazy to say this, I definitely think he's not the favorite here. I think he's got to come in with some strong builds to have a good chance in this series. Does he have a team right now? If he does, let me know in chat. I'm trying to remember, because I feel like he changed teams not that long ago. I think he's on a German team at the moment. I can't quite remember the name. I'll look it up in a sec. Up here in the top right, it's Showtime. Down here in the bottom left, in the red, representing Team Liquid, it's Clem. So barracks gas opening for Clem, very standard stuff. Gate gas here for Showtime. Gateway in the main, so doesn't want to lose any mining time. From this positioning, I wouldn't be too surprised if Showtime actually doesn't scout until after Nexus, or maybe doesn't scout until the Adept even. One of my favorite things to just get that little bit of extra minerals and make your builds a lot crisp was this. I remember playing against Jason and really struggling. But you guys would remember about 5 months back, I hit my best PVT where I was just doing blink openings into Charge, Sentry, Immortal, going into long games and playing really typical PVT. And what helped me get to the point where I could take on the Jasons, where I could give really good matches to even Epic and stuff, and even drag the game on against Future a bit, where Future is another level of Terran. I found it was a lot of the time identifying, okay, this guy doesn't proxy racks much, let's just cut the scout. Okay, this guy does proxy racks more, let's do this, you know. Okay, this guy, you know, his command center's exposed, he doesn't scout early enough, let's get an early zealot over there. It was really starting to diversify my openings and choose the right one for the opponent. And this opening here from Showtime is so efficient. Now that's a hidden pylon. He wants to hide his tech down there. So I think we're going to see a real quick Stargate. Yeah, he's going to go down there. Right? Stalker first. No warp gate yet. Yeah, Stalker into Stargate. So the Stalker's good because it can deny the scouting a lot more reliably and really shut down that Reaper. Now, sometimes when I come in and I see the Nexus not finished, I will actually run around here because that Nexus doesn't have sight vision. So you can run around there and then try to jump up the back just as the Stalker runs over to that cliff and get in and do damage. But you can see Showtime was kind of walled off there. Now, he did not see the warp gate not building. So if he saw that, he would actually be thinking, oh, it's a Stargate. Stalker and a Sentry and the Stargate. Showtime specifically trying to make this look like it's not a Stargate opening, but he's going to see it. Ooh. No, he's not. Good probe pull there by Showtime. Does make him pull back. And he actually wants that Reaper to run up and see the Sentry, because then he's not going to be ready for it. Right now, Clem has no idea what he's up against. He's building Marines. He's got that Hellion. When you're not sure what's happening, the Hellion is always a good choice. And that's it. Showtime's like, yes. Now he's building Phoenix. So, you see a Sentry like that, there's a good chance a medevac queues up out of that starport. We go for a mine drop, something like that. There's a tech lab on that. It's going to be a Raven opening. Clem is going to default to the safest possible thing. Alright, damn. So this can still work out for the Phoenix. The dream is when you dive in with 3 Phoenix just as the Raven pops and kills it. Oh, he's going to fake the Raven, but actually he is going to build a medevac. Oh, the layers of mind games. I'm so excited, guys. This is awesome. So what's really cool here? Oh, of course. Showtime plays for big. The Hellion runs in, does see the Phoenix. Okay. That's like the first unit that's died other than the Reaper in this game. So it's just a Hellion and a Reaper going down. He immediately cancels the medevac, builds a Viking, because that medevac's just no use. The Marines have to stay, drops a 3rd CC. Okay, awesome. Good reaction from Clem. Really good reaction. Now remember, Clem actually really struggled against the 2 Stargate opening, but it's an immediate robo after here for Showtime, so definitely a bit of a different build. Takes a lot of damage on that Phoenix. I mean, it is very nice to delay that 3rd CC, but he's got to be very careful. Let those shields regen. More Phoenix are building. You've already achieved what you want. I actually would stop at 4 Phoenix and build no more. 3rd Nexus goes down immediately. Is this a 1 gate? No, it's 2 gates. Oh, gets it again. Oh, that's a nice pickoff. That CC being delayed is huge. Clem's whole reaction to Stargate was, okay, I'm just going to turtle up, stop you doing damage, and get a quick 3rd CC. Oh, this is a good move from Clem. No, Showtime. Oh, Showtime. A bit slow reaction there, to be honest. And Clem's a horny boy. He's going to chase. Yeah, he'll chase. Do we build a 4th Phoenix now? Yeah, he starts up a 4th Phoenix. I'm not sure if he was already planning to build that or if it's a reaction. Gonna go Colossus and Forge and Twilight. All off 2 gateways. So this is the power of Stargate, is you can kind of keep your finger on the pulse of what your opponent's doing. Units lost still totally fine. Losing a Phoenix sucks, but, you know, picked off 2 SCVs, picked off some other things. 3 barracks is now down, and we will see a couple medevacs queue up in a moment. I wonder what he prioritizes. It's got to be bio, then the medevacs, right? Yeah. So he's trying to make sure he has, like, pretty much non-stop bio production before queuing medevacs, because obviously medevacs, they gather energy, but you don't really need them that early. Double eBay going down in the back. Big macro setup here for Clem. +1 attack starting on the way for Showtime, as is charge. Now he's got these 4 Phoenix. He cannot lose those. So when you play Colossus charge, you have no anti-air. The Phoenix do help fill that gap, but remember this is only 4 Phoenix. Even a Liberator takes a while to die to 4 Phoenix. They don't do a lot of damage to medevacs or Liberators. So this is your only mobile anti-air. If you lose those, your blink is so far away, you've got no way of dealing with drops. These Phoenix have a lot of energy. They haven't really found the value they would have liked to. I feel like they could have probably found a few extra SCVs or Marines this game. But as I said, it's more important to not lose them. Let's look at the Observer positioning. We've got an Observer there. An Observer checked out up here and is now going to go across the map and try to get some forward vision. So it's just the 2 Observers. So one problem there when you're this low on Observers is you're not going to be able to reveal Widow Mines until after they fire, which can kind of suck. Gateway Explosion is now here. We've got a second Forge on the way as well. I wonder if we see Blink straight away or if Showtime holds off on that and focuses on other things. He's already thinking about a 4th base in this top side of the map. Clem, of course, on the other side, getting up his 4th and 5th barracks at this point. Needs an armory to go down right now, or he will not be able to start 2-2 on time. Sometimes players do delay that on purpose, but with this setup in this particular game, I don't think an SCV pull is a good idea. I really do think the armory needs to go down right now. Otherwise, that delay on the upgrades will suck. Armory does drop down. Observer sees this push out. Phoenix coming back. We've got 2 Colossus. 3rd Colossus is on the way. It's being chrono boosted. How many gateways are there? There is currently 6 gateways with a few more finishing, so it's going to be up to 8 gateways in a moment. This is a powerful push, but I think Showtime has everything he needs to defend it. So it's just about getting in the right position and not getting kind of confused. The scan there, Clem's trying to be annoying. He's going to go for a Widowmine drop. Actually on the 3rd base, I think he's going to go for. Maybe he's going all the way to the natural, though. Does change angle. Pickups on the Widowmines and the tank. Oh my god. An absolute roll. The tanks go down, the Widowmines go down. The Zealots do pull back, but loses a few units there. The Widowmine drop goes through the watchtower. The Phoenix sees it. Something happened over there. And the Phoenix here, he wants to... Oh, he's trying to bait them with the medevac. Look at this. Look at this medevac bait. That's a jail bait. That's a jailbait medevac, guys. Oh my god, he made it look like he was just chilling there. He's like, yeah, it's just chilling, man. Oh no! At least he can pick off the Widowmines. The problem is, remember we talked about your anti-air disappearing? The one thing I feel, though, is I'm not sure Showtime cares. Because I feel like at this point, he's like, I'm not replacing Phoenix. Blink is most of the way done. We've survived that part of the game. I'm looking at this, though, and saying, where's your Templar Archives, mate? He's going up to 10 gateways. That Templar Archives is already finished. I'd love to see Storm. He's got the gas for it. His probe count's not up at that 80 probe count yet, and there's a 4th CC halfway done. He's got to be worried about Clem just kind of exploding into that next stage. It looks like he wants to just hit an attack timing. 3 sentries, lots of force fields, 4 Archons added in. How many Zealots is that? 19 Zealots? And there's only 3 Widowmines, 2 of which are in a drop in the top left. So Clem's trying to get to that late game stage. He's not there just yet. And that is a lot of Zealots. Now that Widowmine and Marine actually drags the charge. That was a bait. That specific Marine there was to waste the charge. And it did end up doing it quite well. The Phoenix throw their lives away. That Widowmine drop has not gone in yet. It's still just waiting on the top side of the map. The Vikings come forward. Not many Stalkers here. That Colossus takes a lot of damage. Clem here, posturing far forward. He's got a pretty shit army, but his Viking count's growing. 4 Vikings building at a time. Every second that goes by, these Colossus lose power. Oh. Ooh. Oh, he went way too far forward there. I don't think he realized Blink was done. Loses 2 Vikings. And that's really bad. That Viking count is what was going to help him out. His 2-2's 40 seconds away, but it's not quite there. It's 2-1 upgrades for the Protoss. An upgrade advantage for Showtime. He's going to go in right now. Lots of Zealots charge on that right-hand side. The Archons, the Guardian Shield doing great work. You can see the bio on the right-hand side of your screen, just trying to get away from that Zealot Archon on the left, though. It looks like the bio is winning. SCVs have been pulled in, though. 27 have gone down. And you know what? That bio on the right-hand side actually won the fight. Look at this. Those Colossus. Oh, he's trying to pick him up. Oh my God. Showtime was saving those Colossus. Ended up overwhelming there. A really beautiful timing attack. That's something Showtime's gotten really good at in these games. Is the Colossus timing attack. Very, very well played. Clem needed another minute. If you give Clem another minute there, he's going to have his ghosts out. I didn't actually check, but I assume there was a Ghost Academy on the way. I wasn't watching for it. Suddenly EMP gets rid of those Archons, as well as drastically weakening the Zealots. And you've just got enough Vikings up to clear the Colossus a little bit quicker. But because he was low on Widow Mines, there was a moment there where it was 1-1 versus 2-1 upgrades for the Protoss. There was also a ton of Zealots in that army, and there was no actual Widow Mines to counter it, and not that big a Marine count either. So the Zealots were actually a big problem. The Archons were a big problem as well. So kind of needed some more Widow Mines there, I think, to survive. And obviously getting Ghosts out would have been an absolute game changer for Clem. Not quite up to that stage in the game, though. Showtime finds the window after really just clinical early game and defending that first kind of push attempt from Clem. It was almost like a foraging push, it felt, with Clem. He went up to that north side of the map. He looked around and he was like, what can I find up here? And it was like a tank, 2 mines, and a pack of bio. And he only lost the mines and the tank, right? He did get almost all the bio out from that push, but it definitely gave Showtime a bit of comfort after that. It's always funny. It's that point where I'm like, hey, let's go Storm. And Showtime and a lot of the top Protoss players tend to go, no. This is like, let's make Archons and kill my opponent right now. That's kind of what we got to do at this point. I can add Storm after if the game goes on, but right now we're Archon Zealots go. Archon Zealot timing is the most powerful way of breaking through a Terran player in this matchup. And of course, it's kind of, basically what it was. Yes, there was 4 Colossus behind it, which kind of distracts almost the Terran from having the right composition. Normally you want a lot of Widow Mines, and then obviously Ghosts added into your just lots of bio against that. But we'll see how it goes here in the next game. Up here in the top right, representing big esports. And he is, of course, a very big German, a very handsome German, in fact. It's Showtime. Demauer, called the Wall for his defensive prowess. One of the players who taught me a lot about Protoss. So, there's 2 players that I always kind of call my Protoss teachers in StarCraft 2 and Legacy of the Void. It's Showtime and Neeb. Those are the 2 guys who, when I was learning Protoss through 2016, while casting lots of events and hanging out with these guys pretty much all year long, I cast a crazy number of events that year. I was always asking them questions, shooting them messages on Skype and Discord, in between tournaments, and hey, with this build, blah, 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 and, ask them about GSL builds I'd seen, as well as kind of understanding little details and timings, and doing lots of pig dailies of their replays, since they really were unmatched. Stats was getting very good, but kept bombing out in semifinals that year, I believe it was, and round of 8s, whereas Showtime and Neeb were just dominating. They looked so solid. That was, of course, the time of the Mothership Core, a time where you can argue Protoss was a little more solid. Down here in the bottom left, someone who hasn't been in the scene as long, but a big up-and-comer and an absolutely destructive Terran. Up-and-comer, sorry, is the wrong word. New ascendant to being one of the absolute best players in the world. Absolute best. One of the highest ranked players on Aligulac right now, dominating the online scene. It's Liquid's Clem. And he's opening up with a clever little concussive shell marauder opening. So this is actually... I actually, in a few years back, was doing... You guys remember about a year ago, I was doing 3 racks a lot. That was all copied from Clem. A year and a half ago, maybe, I was doing tons of 3 barracks PvT. Now, he was doing the more classic one. It's like Reaper into Reactor. But this is a cool way to start it off. So I think he's going to go... Okay, he's going to get the factory afterwards. So he's doing a 2-1-1, but he's doing it with a little bit of a marauder pressure. Now, the advantage of this is you can pressure, but most importantly, you can catch that first unit. Oh, but the Glaive Adept sees it. Immediate shield battery. Showtime. Showtime. That shield battery's a little late. I think it'll finish just in time. He's going to build 2 of them. Good call. So 2 Marauders can't out DPS a shield battery. You need like 3 or 4, I think, to actually kind of gun a Stalker down when shield batteries are healing it. I like the pylon back there that's going to heal those if this one goes down. Of course, DT Shrine being proxied, and that's so good against this 2-on-1 opening. You do not want to squeeze a quick engineering bay in with this. Is he going to realize something's up is the question. Clem pulling back immediately, canceling the shield battery. I like that. Both players respecting it and saying, all right, let's just pull back. Does that ring any alarm bells? I don't think so. But yeah, this SCV is going to hang out and keep an eye on the third. Oh, but the Adept's just going to shut it down straight away. Showtime, so good, man. He's really hiding Clem's information. Hiding the information from Clem. And look, even a fast gateway so we can warp a DT in as fast as possible. Oh my god, is Showtime just going to 2-0 him? I was saying how I feel like Clem is the favorite if they're just playing like very standard ladder games against each other. But I feel like Showtime, he's got this series mapped out. This looks like a game-winning build. There is right now no energy on the main. Enough for 1 scan or mule on the natural. But Clem's very good at macro, guys. So let's see. He hits 50 energy. How many seconds before he drops the mule? Within 5 seconds of getting energy, he drops it. Clem is such a good player that if he doesn't think there's a chance of DTs, he's actually weaker than most players against it because he drops those mules the moment they're available. He's got no energy. He's just straight up dead. This is a really brilliant opening. Did Clem just see that? Clem just saw the blur. What the fuck? How did he notice that? He saw the blur immediately. He's hold positioning on the ramp to try and slow them down. Engineering bay is most of the way done. He's almost got a scan ready. Oh, he's even picking up the Marauder and carrying it to the back. Okay, anyone else would have just died here. Clem spotted the blur of the DTs coming in. His engineering bay's done. It's still massive damage because he has to evac, right? And this DT is like, okay, yeah, you can scan me, that's fine. Because look at that. Prism's going to come in, warp in 2 more DTs and drop him in there. He'll have another scan in a moment. It's fine. You've already done great damage. Another DT is going to run in a moment, and hopefully before a turret finishes. Now, he doesn't know about that turret. That's a good turret placement. Kind of covers both bases. Not fully, but almost. And more DTs are going to hit the main. So this is an onslaught of Dark Templar. Now remember, Showtime is only 2 base. Oh, he runs into the turret range. He needed to stay on that side of the mineral line. It's very common for a Terran to put a turret on the high ground, so you should be aware of that. Now this Prism, I think, should just go to the back, so it can keep ferrying the DTs between the 2 bases. Ooh, he's actually going to go for the engineering bay. I'm not sure. Not sure. Is that right? He doesn't have a scan just yet. He won't actually prove me. Oh no! Showtime! And there's a scan. Now there's a scan. It just ticked over. 50 energy. Only Clem could resurrect himself from this fucking delayed reaction, man. 3rd base starts, Colossus starts, Charge is already on the way, Forge is there. There's a giant army out for Clem. Is this actually okay? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Not only does he see the blur, immediately pulls, loses so few SCVs. It was a total of 6 SCVs, but like 5 DTs died, guys. 4 DTs, and the Prism is so huge. If you've got that Prism to micro the Colossus, it's massive right now. I do think Showtime's okay. I think he can defend this 3rd, but he kind of needs to. If he loses the 3rd, this is 3 barracks Terran. 3rd CC on location +1 on the way. You've got to get that 3rd up. Otherwise, your probe advantage means nothing. Zealots going forward. Good force fields. I think he's got to pull his Zealots back. He can't let them charge in front like that. He's got to kind of let Clem come forward and engage the Immortal on the Colossus, and then he can do it. At this point, though, you're in a position where you're like, cool, I got an Observer out. I got 2 Stalkers covering my main. The thing is, you can't really track his movements too well. I do like the Observer placement. It's going to get on Pervert mode, so it's going to catch the triple drop. That Adept's going to go forward. Now, obviously, Clem will rally into the 3rd. More Stalkers warping in. Ooh. The thing is, no blink, right? Yeah, no blink. It's not even started, guys. Ooh, this is almost a bait. The Zealots and the Colossus were just out of vision. Ooh, 2 Medivacs get focused down. He's focusing the Stalkers down, so losing his Stalkers is really bad, but so is losing the Medivacs. So it ends up worth it. If he saved one of those full Medivacs of Bio, it might have actually not been too terrible for Clem, because he could open up another angle. Clears up the Scouting Adept down here, stims in. Quick recall, Showtime says no. Remember, guys, Showtime still has a forward place. If he'd warped in a DT, or even a Zealot, he could have stopped this 3rd getting up. But Showtime is kind of going back into Showtime mode, which is defense, 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 clinical, clinical, clinical defense. Behind it, he's got 67 probes, taking the gases on the third. I do think after holding that, he's in a fantastic position. Clem kind of got baited in, saying, oh, it's just Stalkers on their own, let's drop on them, and ended up sandwiched between the main army, which kind of appeared once he'd started unloading and trying to gun down those Stalkers, but losing all the medevacs, as well as the bio inside, is rough. For those who don't understand, by the way, one of the biggest things you can get in PvT is sniping the anti-air. As the Terran, if you can kill all the Phoenix, if they're relying on Phoenix, or all the Stalkers, the Protoss is impotent to stop you dropping the main and the third at the same time. They respond, you pick up, you drop in the natural, you pick up, you drop, Liberators fly in. It's also the fact that these are usually the most fragile and expensive units. 175 resources for a Stalker, and it's got the same hit points as a Zealot, which is, of course, only 100 resources. Not to mention, you're going very Marauder heavy in PvT, usually 3 tech labs and 2 reactors on your first 5 barracks, right? That's a lot of Marauder production, which means lots of bonus damage against those armored units. So Stalkers are actually way easier to kill than Zealots, and you get almost twice as much value. So part of what you'll see with the dropping and the multi-prong of a player like Clem is he's trying to open up opportunities where he can just quickly focus down all the Stalkers and then disengage from the fight. And that's a very powerful thing where anytime the Protoss is having to rebuild those Stalkers over and over again, well, that's not High Templar, that's not Colossus, and that is, you know, them trading not as well. But if they just lose a few Zealots in each fight, the Protoss gives very few fucks about losing a few Zealots, right? Viking count's building, Ghost count's building. I'm quite sure we're gonna probably just see an SCV pull in this game, I think, because Clem is feeling behind. Yeah, he's building more SCVs. Yeah, he could try to hang on. But to me, it feels like the sort of game where you grab a bunch of SCVs and you go and try to punch the Protoss in the dick. You know? You don't be like, yes, let's have a wrestling match. Gosh. His third's going to get ravaged by these Zealots. He still doesn't know about that warp-in point. He hasn't even had a chance to send like a single drop foraging around the edges of the map for a warp-in point or anything. Alright, so Showtime sees this coming. He's just made Archons. 3 Colossus, 2 Immortals, 3 Sentries, pack of Zealots and Stalkers. Blink is done. It is going to be 2-1 upgrades up against 1-1 in about 30 seconds or so. He's chronoing it. More Archons, more Zealots. This is an interesting fight. Remember, EMP is here. That's the big difference. The third base, of course, has had to pull the rally. Going to try to deal with those Zealots. I think it can do it. It will hold on. Clem's going to defend that. Showtime, meanwhile, going to lose all the probes on that base. He's going to come down this ramp, but there's just not a lot of Terran. I mean, he's got a good position, does Clem, but I really feel like Showtime just has too much stuff. The Viking micro is very good. 1 Colossus, almost gone, but oh no, the Vikings just overextend a little there. Good pullback by Showtime, who's actually kept some probes alive. His 4th Nexus is still healthy. There's still a Zealot ravaging Clem's 3rd. Remember, Clem is quite all in here. He is way down economically. He's going to get the Nexus, bring it back to 3 base versus 3 base. That does get mining again. Clem gets his 3rd back up. Those probes do survive for now. 3-2 upgrades queuing up here for Showtime. And I think an Observer just got caught there. So, what we got? A Zealot's going to come in and hit from that side. Check there's no other 4th base. Does lose a Stalker. Doesn't quite get the Vikings there. Oh man, this is still very awkward for Clem. I think Showtime should jump on this army. No fucks given right now. Zealots and DT's running in. He's got a scan there. Zealot and DT are in the mineral line at the same time though. And whilst Clem is cleaning this up, every SCV that goes down, anytime you can trade a little, it's very good for Showtime. Showtime blinked forward, lost a Stalker there. Oh man, this is just such a big Protoss army. And yeah, Showtime's just going to pull the trigger here. I think he realizes he has to fight now. He's maxed out. And he guns down all the Vikings. 3 Colossus standing strong. Ooh, the one on the right is going to go down. 1 Colossus goes down, but it's just too much. Showtime with a fantastic DT opening. Clem trying to bring it back there after fantastic crisis management. But he was behind. And he was a little behind, and then his triple drop got caught, and he was very, very behind. Mic volume's going up and down a bit. Sorry, guys, that's my fault. It is a little bit earlier than I normally start casting, and yes, I'm kind of shifting around in my chair. My bad. That is absolutely my fault. Sorry, guys. Oh, I will fix that. Sorry. I've also just been getting excited, speaking louder, and then trying to tone it in. But Dot's definitely awake now. It's past 8 a.m. here. I'm not going to be keeping anyone awake. Let's go back to proper announcer volumes, hey? All right, game 3. Is Showtime going to 3-0 this finals the way Clem 3-0'd the semis? I don't know. All right, guys, finals going. 2-0 advantage. Hot diddly damn. I'd like to see Clem bring this back. Clem, I think, struggles build order-wise with the Protoss players. I think what's happening is maybe these Protoss players are just a little bit better at picking their build orders in tournaments. Sometimes Clem's PvT feels a little bit too ladder. I mean, he's a mechanical god. I want to make sure Clem goes down maybe a little bit more of a euthermal path with his build orders, where I think euthermal can be very clever with some of his timings. When euthermal's picking the right builds and stuff, I think he's really intelligent, and I'd love to see. I mean, we've got both players are proxying. This is great. Down here in the bottom right, needs one more to close it out. It's Big Esports Showtime. Are they going to cross? Up here in the top left, also proxying, it's Clem. The workers do not actually, they pass each other, but neither of them sees each other. So we're going to see proxy gate. Oh! He was going for a 2 barracks. I think it was going to be a Reaper rush? Or maybe he was going to float barracks in the corner of the main and do 2 barracks Marine. It's going to be a gas now. He's changing to just proxy 1 racks Reaper. So Clem here has said, ooh, you've scouted that I'm up to no good. Showtime's like, oh, you've scouted that I'm up to no good. So they're both going to swap probably into a more standard game plan. Now, obviously the barracks is on Showtime's side of the map, but you can still just do an expand from here. Usually after getting a second gas, getting a factory down. And then, you have potential quicker Hellion drop into your expand on the low ground. That sort of thing. Yeah, we wholly expect to see Cybercore before Nexus, of course, from Showtime, who's just building lots of probes for now. And now he's scouting. You don't want to go too far with this probe. He's just checking if there's a close by barracks. You want to go back and scout here at about 1:45 to confirm if the factory's in the main base. If it's not, you're dealing with a 1-1-1. We saw Tasia trying to bring this build back recently in GSL. But you want to confirm. If it's at home, you go, oh, okay, he's going to expand behind this. This is a more, it's a faster tech, but it's a less crazy version. That barracks will probably float home. Ooh, harass. You're missing a chance to harass. Oh, man, Showtime here. What are we doing? Oh, no, that probe just chilling. There we go. Yeah, there's a good chance for free harassment there, man. I guess he's prioritizing information now. Queues up for a little route around the main. It's a late factory from Clem. That's just because I think Clem's barracks was just a little late, to be honest. The Reaper's going to come in. That Stalker is not out. The Zealot is here to buy a little bit of time, though. Clem's micro is, of course, godlike. Good micro on that probe, though, that orange probe. He's got to keep microing that away, because the Reaper's going to come in and look for the fix. So Zealot will take out the SCV. Oh, he does get one of these probes. But, yeah, he knows the Stalker's about to pop, so does pull back. Now this probe sees the factory at home, sees 2 workers on each gas. You know there's going to be a command center behind this, but Clem has not started it yet. Clem, what the fudge, dude? That I don't know if he'd given the order, but his depot was raised. That's a very late command center. Now he's got 2 Reapers, which is nice. They can kill this Zealot potentially. There is an Adept coming out. Bit of a delay on that. Showtime's definitely got to knuckle down on his opening here. He's going to lose a probe for sure. Whoa. Good pullback, gets to the high ground, barely gets to safety. That probe still scouting, sees a starport in the main base. These Reapers, are they going to get one? Oh, they do finally get one. Almost gets one of the 2 Reapers, though. And a Robo behind this. So Showtime going to go probably just 2-base Colossus. Super standard, super defensive. Now, doesn't seem like the greatest opening for Protoss, right? You're like 28 probes. Oh, it's like not even, this Robo's like pretty damn late. Oh, this is kind of weird. But the thing is, the barracks has to float all the way across the map, and the weakness of that is normally Terran, as a given, just has a lot of Marines. They're a generically good unit. They give you anti-air. They do good damage. They get better with stim. You've just lost your map presence. You've now got 1 Cyclone, and your barracks has just arrived at home. You haven't even started the reactor yet. That's the real weakness. This is specifically why you'll see people like hide a barracks there, build a Reaper, and then float it back. because we've just missed out on like so many Marines by having to float that back. Now there is a second barracks down there. That did not get spotted by Showtime. This is going to be a tank timing attack. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a tech lab go down and shields, maybe even just Marines nonstop and just go, go, go. I think Clem senses he's kind of got to catch Showtime off guard with his timing. And yeah, 3 barracks, just building Marines right now. It's going to be unupgraded Marines, tanks, Banshees, probably trying to build bunkers and trying to just catch Showtime and kill him. This Phoenix needs to see this, needs to get wind of this. Showtime needs to realize what's happening and just make units non-stop out of these 3 gateways. A lot of the time a Protoss player will cut production, add a third, add a bit of tech, wait till they see an attack coming, and then, you know, or once their upgrades are finishing, power up a little bit more. But as he sees, no add-on, huge tells, immediately Showtime will react. We're going to Showtime's camera. He knows what's up. Cut probe production, build pylons, chrono units, maybe even squeeze out an extra gate or 2. So he's chrono boosting Colossus. We're on Showtime's camera. Show you guys his reaction as he might just get a clinical hold of this and then win the series. I think it's cool to watch from his point of view. Does start the Viagra upgrade for the Colossus, warping in Stalkers, warping in units, chrono boosting, starting shield batteries on the natural. He is so aware of the fact that this game is going to come down to one moment. Now, he does have an observer at home because he knows Banshees could come in with Cloak. That Cyclone scares him a little. A lot of people would want to send that observer out to get information. Let's go back to Showtime's camera. He realizes right now, he's like, I want to slow down the tanks from sieging, so I'll go out front a little bit. I've got shield batteries, but you can see that he's also got the observer on the right-hand side. Is there anything in the main? 2 Stalkers and an observer there as well. That Banshee is going to come in, but notice how patient Clem is being with it. Now, after he was scouted, let's go back to everyone's view. Clem said, it's scouted. There's no way this is going to work. Dropped add-ons. Big brain Clem. Does lose his Cyclone, though, on the other side of the map. That's a shame. 2 Banshees now coming in, and you know what? Showtime's out of position. He sends another hallucinate. Showtime's like, when's the push coming, dude? And Clem's like, mate, you scouted it way too early. There was no way that was going to work. Just changes strategies completely. And the Banshees now come in as well. Oh my god. This is a really awkward situation for Clem, but he's finding a way to get damage. 8 probes. Those Stalkers and the Observer in the main. We'll shut this down now. Once he gets that 1 Banshee, so there we go, 1 more probe. Oh, it gets the 2nd probe because it was already on red hit points as well. If that gets out, Showtime's going to be a little triggered, man. He's actually down 8 workers now. He does get the Banshee at least. So in terms of great unit army out, unit comp, you got Stalker, Sentry, Colossus, you've got a few observers. Like, this is pretty nice. Problem is you're on 41 probes with the 3rd base that hasn't started. So Showtime there, maybe he actually should have just kept 1 observer for the Banshee defense and should have sent the other observer across the map. He really thought that was going to be an all-in. Clem, once he was scouted, just completely pivoted into a different direction, a different strategy. He's got the 3rd CC. He's built a lot of tanks for safety. He's actually non-stop building tanks. So this is what I call unbreakable TVP. The whole point of unbreakable TVP is you never stop building tanks, and if you've got them sieged up and you don't get your army caught out in the middle of the map somewhere, you cannot be defeated by a Protoss push. It is almost impossible. This map has so many wide open spaces. If you don't have walls up, it is technically, if there's enough zealots. But usually against most traditional Protoss pushes, you just can't dime. The problem with tanks is they're immobile. They're very slow to siege and unsiege. Because of that, it's hard to get your push sieged up in the Protoss base on the other side of the map. But if you're already ahead economically, it's amazing. Because the Protoss, what has Showtime won his games with in this series? It's been big old pushes into the Terran. Clem's like, yeah, I'm just not going to die to that this game. Like, I was building these tanks earlier for an attack. Now, I haven't made it happen, but we've got these tanks sieged in this gigantic spready. And I don't know if Showtime realizes just how many tanks there are here, because that's actually an unbreakable spread right now. Yeah. I don't think you go into that as Showtime. Showtime's posturing, which is the right call. If he could have stopped him from moving down to siege on the 3rd in the first place and like force field these ramps, snipe off some units, maybe hold the area up here a bit before these tanks are sieged, would have been great. As it is, though, he's just got to focus on his economy. He's going up to take a 4th base up in the top right. Oh, he does spot that quad drop. Does he realize? Yeah, he spotted it. He spotted it. Great map awareness. Clem here getting a bit antsy. Clem does not feel comfortable just jerking it in his corner of the map. Like, no, a lot of Terrans don't, but Clem is a very aggro Terran. He's like, I've been sitting defensive for like 3 minutes. This is uncomfortable. This is weird. I don't want to give the Protoss too much room. Goes down, unloads, but he realizes that was probably spotted, so he actually just pulls back. And I really like that move. Because now Showtime's like, hey, where'd that drop go, buddy? He will see it return back into his observer vision. Meanwhile, Clem... I would love a turret out front, man, or a scan. This observer seeing everything is making me really uncomfortable for Clem. This is giving Showtime too much information. Showtime still hasn't started a 4th base. He's got his +1 armor on the way, +1 attack done. So very even upgrades. Second Forge and Blink now on the way, coming in to add it to that charge. 3 Colossus are out. This Bioforce going to come forward. 4th CC is on the way behind this, as well as the Ghost Academy and the Armory. Lots of Vikings building for Clem. Clem's going to clear up a few pylons. We've got a big split of the units. I like the split from Showtime. Obviously, he doesn't have amazing map vision, so he's a little worried that Clem will kind of outposition him and trick him a little bit. But Clem here, just defensive, macro, rocking it. I like the turret. I'd like another one there and another one there, and I'd like another turret down here, though I think he's going to go for that 4th base. I normally prefer this 4th, because it's really easy to zone out prisms on this side, and then you can go turret, turret. He's just going to go for the minimal turret commitment here. Does come and gets a cancel on the 4th. Oh, wow, I was not expecting that. Oh, man, that's really bad for Showtime. Showtime has to go Disruptors. In my opinion right now, there's only one way you can play from here as Showtime, and that's Disruptors. A Storm Drop technically could work, but I don't know, man. Just economically, surely Clem's army is going to be too big once 2-2 kicks in. It's still only single engineering. No, there is double engineering bay, but only one being used right now. Oh, man, it's all going to come down to the engagement. Obviously, I'm being a bit drastic, saying, oh, you need Disruptors. It's just like Showtime is on a Zealot Archon army against an unbreakable Terran position. Like, this army's good now. Well, it was good. It's already starting to hit its point where it's not as powerful. So I'm very worried for him. Now, yeah, the Prism comes in. The Marines are going to spot it. That Prism needs to just survive. There's too many turrets. Ooh. Nope, there's another turret down there as well. And he's like, oh, fucking shit. Thing is, I do think you can get by on the top of that map without dying to that turret. You just need to come in on full hit points, so he's got to regen first. Main army on the bottom. Going good. There we go, yeah. Disruptor and 2 more Robers. Because like I said, the Zealot Archon, if he takes one big fight, unless he catches Clem fucking up the engagement, his army is not going to trade so well. Because Clem's up in army supply, Clem's got even upgrades, and Clem's got Ghost, Viking, Mass Bio. He's got tanks and planetaries and shit. Like, it's hitting this point where Showtime's army is getting worse. And I feel like even though you can look and go, well, Clem's still got a lot of bio. Bio's not like the best thing in the world. Technically, no. The problem is it's more maneuverable, more microable. It's easier for Clem to split off a double or triple drop and do some good damage with it. It's easier for Clem to do all that stuff. This Observer, by the way, pervert of the fucking century, sees everything. We've only got 1 Disruptor out so far. It is there. Ooh, 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 ooh. That Disruptor's going to win the game. Big shot, go! No, it's not. Clem just runs towards it as well. Bloody psychopath. Does take out the Disruptor. Good trade. Zealots hit that mineral line in a big way. Okay, Clem got a bit over eager. Man, he was so solid. But then Showtime was just waiting for this one moment where he would move out. Uh-oh, this is really dangerous position for Showtime, though. He's trying to fight away from the tanks. Oh, Showtime's just masterclassing it. He says, siege up your tanks. Cool, I'll pull back. Every time he goes forward, Clem sieges the tanks, and then Showtime just pulls back. He's up on top of this base. He's got to be careful with sandwiching his army. That's one thing that can definitely go wrong for him. But he gets this command center. He can also just kill the SCVs. Oh, he's going to force field the repair a little bit, but no, he's got to get out. The Stalkers do take out some Vikings. Nicely done. Good micro on the Vikings from Clem, but there's still 2 Colossus standing. I think he's got to turn and fight on that ramp. He's got to turn and fight on that ramp, right? There's still Zealots doing damage. Oh, I think he missed an opportunity to kill some bio. Obviously didn't want to get run down. But at the end of all this, I think that was good trades for Showtime. He's on 75 probes. He'd like a handful more probes to really add his survivability. But he's got 3-2 upgrades. DTs are now running in as well. They're going to be annoying. I would have liked him to split that DT straight into the natural. The Observer finally goes down. So those DTs actually helping Clem, forcing him to scan and kill that Observer finally. Storm's now on the way, +3 attackers on the way. I don't like the fact that the Forges are in separate bases, but I think he's got them control grouped anyway. It's just harder to chrono boost. Zealot Stalker here. We got more Stalkers warping on the top side. How many disruptors is this? Just 6 for now. I say just 6. It's a good count, don't get me wrong. Oh man, a Colossus goes down. There's still 2 Immortals in there that have been there pretty much all game long. Tanks though. Oh, Showtime doesn't know about the tanks. Showtime does not know about the tanks. Oh, good disruptor shot. Very good disruptor shot. Man, I love it. Whenever the Terran pulls back and he like blinks forward and snaps a Viking. Really nice plays. There's once again just not many units up here. This base very exposed. And yeah, he's coming in. Okay. I like the disruptors are kind of zoning a little bit right now. They do get some decent shots. But Showtime's got to extricate himself. He's got to get out of here. He's saving his disruptor shots, which was actually really nice. But then he threw 2 at once, which I did not like. Oh my god. He's out of disruptor shots. His balls are on cooldown right now, guys. Showtime. Man's not hot. Well, guess what? Man's balls are hot right now. They're overheating. His balls unable to fire the rapid fire shots that you need to take down a young man like Clem. And yeah, he's down to 3 disruptors and Archon, 11 zealots. The complexity of the Protoss army is gone. He does have backup High Templar, or at least 1 or 2 around his bases with Storm. But it's just, man, this is so hard to take down Clem's force. I think Clem's medevac count is not high enough, and that's what's going to potentially allow Showtime to take this army down. The fact that every stim, he's not able to really heal up anymore. Zealots, oh, he loses his 6th base on the north side. Good pick up there. Oh, the libs though. Oh my god, the High Templar just got hit by that lib. Okay, Clem's splits aren't fair. That's good to know. I'd love to see those zealots on the top side go for a bit of a backstab here. Oh man, I think... Okay, that stim really... Yeah, that hurts Clem. If Showtime... Oh my god! He just ran in and just clicked on the balls. He's such a psycho. I think that was an overextension from Clem, but like... No, it wasn't. Zealots are killing his 3rd again. But he's actually winning this fight. I can't believe it. We're not even going to look at that Zealot run by because it's being dealt with by his SCV pool and his rally. And his libs there. Oh my god. He just pushes straight through it. He doesn't miss a beat, man. Oh, he doesn't even need lib range. That's like this weird thing. I feel like for a lot of people, the power spike is lib range and hitting like 5 liberators, 6 liberators with range. With Clem, it's like 1 or 2 regular libs, and it's just the bio being microed so perfectly underneath that's so scary. Oh, big balls, big balls, big balls. He's very patient with letting his balls explode. It's what you want in a German PvT player, you know? Man who doesn't explode too quickly. Oh, double lib siege, hitting 2 mineral lines. I think Clem's got this game. I think we've got a series on our hand, friendos. I think we got a series on our hand. As I say, that big run by here. This base is building, but you know what? The income is starting to drop quite drastically here for Showtime. He had a big income advantage for a long time in this series. Not so much right now, especially once this base goes down. Actually, I don't know if it was that big an income advantage, but he definitely felt like he had a little bit more money for a while there. Zealots DT's coming in. Oh, but Clem jumps on the balls. Takes him out. Because of Clem's decisive focus fire, and he's so good at targeting the one that shot it down, it makes you want to fire like 2 or 3 shots at once, so he can't do that. The problem is if you throw 2 or 3 shots at once, he can just pull back and then come back in after your shots detonate, right? So it's this scary thing where you're like, I want to space my shots out, but if I'm just too close, by even just a little bit, Clem will just run forward, kill the disruptor. And yeah, Clem takes out yet another base. We've got a base mining there, another base that's just started to mine up there, but the gases are only now being taken. Does not have DT blink, has a lot of DTs in here, but it almost feels desperate for Showtime. The DTs run in. Oh, does finally realize. Does drop the scan. The DT is taking quite a bit of damage. One big ball, one big ball. Of course, a good pickup. Ooh, he actually clicks on the exact correct medevacs. I've been complimenting Clem this whole time. He knew exactly which of those 3 medevacs out of the 8 picked up units. And he focus fired all of them in correct order. That's pretty sick, guys. Showtime is actually also a god. Now, Showtime actually just cleaned up a lot of army there. It's not over till it's over? No. Oh, if he gets... Clem, you got a boost. Get out of there. If Clem loses all those medevacs, that's really bad for him. I actually would have liked this army to just chase to the left, but... What splash damage have we got? We got 3 DTs. There's no splash. There's just a few invisible units. Knowing Clemmy, who might even notice the blur on the top of his vision there.
Ghost reporting.
Oh man, I gotta check in for the American tournament. I'm playing in half an hour, guys. I hope this tournament, this finals doesn't go too long. I might have to forfeit playing this week just to cast an awesome grand finals here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stalkers. Okay, he's actually just sniping zealots. I think Clem's got it, guys. The DTs run in, but they do end up getting killed after 5 SCVs. Clem's expanded to the bottom left-hand side of the map. And a very nice comeback there from Clem. Wins game 3. 2-1 Showtime's way, but Clem, he's on the comeback train. He's on the comeback journey right now. And that is what I call exciting. All right, I got to check in here on the NA tournament. Did I get that button? I did not. Click it. I am checked in. Starts in 29 minutes. Awesome, guys. So we like to normally, obviously EPT's moved one day different. I always like to cast EPT with Maynard. We'll be doing that after I am eliminated. But because they pushed all the tournaments back a few hours as well as one day, I'm catching the EU semis and the finals. So I was like, I could warm up for my tournament or I could watch some really friggin' good players play. And I was like, let's watch some really good players play, man. Let's do that. So guys, we're gonna hop into this next game. It's starting in just one moment. There we go. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna drain the main vein like my name's LeBron James. Thank you very much, HKim, for the 2-month resub. Oz Chobo with the 2-month resub, guys. Game 4 of the grand finals about to start. What did you say? For my mom. Oh, he slept right through Lillian and stuff. Oh, 6 o'clock. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'll try to listen out for it. All right, I'll check out. All right. Let's go, guys. It's time. Feeling good, feeling refreshed. Emptied me bladder. Checking for proxies. Up here in the top left. He is up 2 games. It's Showtime. Of course, playing for Big Esports. Down here in the bottom right, he's on the comeback train. In the red, it's Team Liquid's Clem. I get the feeling that Showtime and most players don't like playing disruptors against Clem. They're a very good unit, but it almost feels like all disruptors achieve against this guy is making him stim a little bit more often and delaying the engagement, more importantly. Like all it does is delay the engagement, right? So it allows you to get in an annoying position and then stop him from jumping on your army and punishing you and closing it down. Even though there was, of course, that engagement in the top of Simulacrum where he did get punished, where he needed just 1 or 2 more disruptors to get out of there. So what I feel like is players kind of want to kill him before then. I think if you go disruptors, the way to make that work against Clem, and this is often how you beat Clem, it's sending a warp prism in the main and warping in 15 zealots. Like it's actually, it's the zealot run bys, it's the DTs and zealots hitting the natural, hitting the production, that wins, more so than the disruptors themselves. The disruptors just force a lot of attention and a lot of army to be focused in a certain area. But it seems impossible to actually get the hits. Helix says muted? I don't think it is. Oh, I told you guys I was going to pee, guys. Everyone's like, where is he? Why re? Yeah, it's fine, guys. I was like, whoa, am I muted? I quickly just double checked everything. It's all good, guys. Obviously, people just tuning in was like, oh shit, he's casting silently today. So, guys, the Reaper has seen nothing once again, and this is the hard thing. If you can't get that info as the Terran. I mean, Showtime's been a god at denying it, and oh, you know what? An Adept does 23 damage a shot, right? No, it's 22, isn't it? They did nerf it. I was like, wait, is it 23 or it's 22? Oh no, miscontrol. He got that out of there. Oh, that's actually a real pain losing that. Now that Hellion's gonna go straight across the map, right? Wait, he cancelled the Hellion and went Widowmine? Huh. So he's gonna go just a traditional Widowmine drop here against traditional Blink opening. Okay. Ooh, straight Robo. Oh, Showtime. So what I really like about Showtime is vision on the map. Yeah, and then second and third. Okay, cool. He's not going to have a ton of Stalkers immediately, so he would like to identify. And that does tell him. He sees that little mark on the ground. He goes, okay, gotta watch out for a Widowmine drop. Do you think Clem's going to push out with his Marines? I'd like to see Clem's Marines push out. He's going to have 8 Marines. I'd like to see him push out and try to kill this Adept, move to the halfway point, and then go home. Just to create more threat. Oh, yeah, the Adept's going to see the drop. So that's real nice for Showtime. He can even send a Stalker out and try to intercept it on the map. For now, though, Stalker, Sentry, nothing in the main. Of course, he's about to have 3 gateways, so he'll be able to warp in a sec. Another Stalker there. 1 Stalker out here. And he's got Vision.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Yeah, the medevac gets spotted there. Blink's not quite done. What's that? Oh, he's got another drop going across. Oh, he's doing mass Widowmine drop. Or at least just double Widowmine drop to start. The hallucinated Phoenix gets a glimpse of it. Showtime, I don't think he realized that. I'm on Showtime's camera, guys. I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows. That's such a quick double Widowmine drop. He's going to come in with this one, and then that one will come in a few seconds later in the main. Uh-oh. This could be big damage, guys. Clem, show us your god moves. Okay. Oh, Showtime does pull quickly. These are not Drilly Claw mines, remember, guys. Oh, he doesn't pull the Stalkers down. Good discipline from Showtime. He leaves them in position there. Yeah, Clem goes in, doesn't get anything. Bit of mining time, a single probe. Oh. Showtime actually does have to pull off his third because he doesn't have the units to cover 3 bases right now. It's a good choice. He's going charge now very quickly. And a delayed single forge. People aren't rushing double forge anymore. Protoss players are looking for control. They're looking for mobility. They're looking for having enough army to cover the 3 bases defensively. And then they're adding the forge, the forges, the splash damage a bit later. They're also, of course, because they've got the earlier units, the more control, they do have an opportunity to potentially just switch their path and go, actually, no, I'm just going to make a shitload more stuff and go kill you. And that can be very good. Right now, 3 barracks, Widowmine production, which is the most important thing for Clem here against this style. So poking Widowmine comes in, forces the workers off, unburrows, gets back in. This is so annoying, man. I gotta tell you, he's forcing Stalkers to be in 3 bases at once. The Observer sees this push. You don't got nothing to deal with it right now. Ooh, he does need more medevacs pretty desperately, though. Doesn't have a lot of healing or sustain for this army. Oh, he's building 2 more pylons. Oh no, that supply block might actually kill Showtime here if he just shoves his way in. Clem is not going to give him any time. You got to pull more Stalkers. You can't leave so many Stalkers here. Oh, Showtime's being stretched. He's being stretched so thin right now. That shield battery's gone. It's not going to get time to finish. That pylon goes down. Oh, he's got to pull everything here. Good force field. A great force field. The Immortal just smacks 2 of those Marauders down. A big Zealot warp in comes in. Okay, does lose the Immortal, though. A good snipe there from Clem, but the Widow mines, the Zealots get baited into the mines. They mostly go down there, and Clem might just have barely enough to just crack through. The Stalkers are still alive, though. It's a lot of Stalkers. Ooh. And they do get one of those medevacs. But at the same time, can he get a bit of damage done on the probes? He very well may be able to. Oh my lord, that observer! The observer's going to go down! Oh, it does go down, but the Widowmine does die as well. Losing the observer still sucks balls, though. And Clem, he's so good at managing this micro. I feel like Showtime is constantly on the cusp of shutting it down and just getting completely in control of the game. And then Clem micros these things just a little bit better, just a little bit better. We've got a single Marauder here, Chaticus Maximus, which of course is kind of like Spartacus. Chaticus Maximus, people say, oh, there's lots of units called that. Yeah, any unit that thinks he can fucking 1v1 the entire opponent's base. His name is Chaticus Maximus. It's a lot like I am Spartacus. It's, you fucking march into an entire army, one man. That is, you're basically embodying his spirit, you know? It's kind of like Batman. Zealot drop there. We've got mine there, and a few Marines. That's a very good anti-prism squad. Overall, as things stabilize, who's ahead? It looks like Clem is winning this game pretty decisively. He doesn't have a 4th and 5th barracks. He's only got a single engineering bay. Upgrades are a little ahead for Showtime. Oh, sorry, he does have a 4th and 5th racks. Yeah, he's way ahead. So Clem's production is out of this fucking world. He's got 2 libs. He's got a bunch of mines. He's got a decent medevac count against a guy who's on gateway units with single forge. No splash damage anywhere in sight. He's just got... Yeah, he's got nothing. No 4th base, so there's no economic advantage for Showtime. It's equal workers. I mean, Clem is just... It feels like he hasn't really did crazy damage with his push, but he's just exerted enough pressure through the double Widowmine drop. Forced probes off mining, not given Showtime enough time to get up to that economic advantage. And even there, just forcing probes off mining again for a Widowmine drop, which should have kind of ran out of steam a long time ago, and he's continuing it. Another Widowmine drop queues around the top side of the map. Oh, it's very good at StarCraft. I like the DT shrine here for Showtime. I think Showtime realizes he's behind in this game. If he gets a good engage, that's going to also help him. So he's kind of out on the map right now. Scan on the Pervert Observer, very good. The Zealot's kind of looking for the move out, so he wants to either base trade or broadside this army. If he can catch him on the map and kind of force field and just dick Clem a little bit, that'll be good. Oh, does get one medevac. I wouldn't have minded the Zealots actually going after that army there. He's trying to engage, but there's a lot of Widow Mines here. You got to be real careful of those Widow Mines. The Zealot count is insane, but massive Widow Mine shots on those Zealots. The command center gets cancelled. Is it enough? There's ghosts coming out. The SCVs need to be pulled. Clem, if he just pulls the SCVs, as long as he keeps this bit of damage alive, he wins the game. Okay, gets the Immortal. That's big. Pulls back now. Sieges the mines. Yeah, this is... Oh, Clem's got it, man. He's held on. As long as he just keeps this bio ball alive, Showtime is all in. Showtime's got to make some plays happen right now. Get out of there. Showtime's got to pull back and try to make these DTs do something, I think. He's trying to make it work right now. He's got a lot of gas in the bank. No Templar Archives, though. Only DT Archons being able to be warped in. Good split on the Zealots here, but the medevac energy. Look how much purple there is on those medevacs. That's their energy meter. Their energy meters are high. They can heal all day. I can heal all day. I can heal all day. The backside here is open, and there's no turret in the main or the natural. There is still a chance here, but it's purely off DTs. So I want to see the DTs actually drop in the main. He's going to use DTs in his army. I'm not a big fan. Really, I don't like this. If you've got Blink on them, maybe. Without Blink, though, it just makes me go, eh. Showtime's got to dig. He's got to use some bullshit right now. I don't know if Clem fully realizes there's DTs just yet. Ah, man, I feel like Showtime has missed a little bit of an opportunity to go and fuck some shit up with these DTs. There's very little scan energy. There's a turret there. Here we go. Finally, those DTs hit the mineral line. Remember, guys, Showtime's on 3 base. He doesn't even have a 4th. He's going double Robo or triple Robo Disruptor behind this, which is a very nice little transition. He's going to drop 2 DTs in the main as well. Does end up losing those ones in the natural. There is a turret, of course, out front that was doing some good stuff. The Widow Mine... Ah, the 2 Widow Mines took out the Prism. There is still 1 DT there. We've got another DT out front ready to intercept the push. Clem's like, where's your 4th base, buddy? And I think he's realizing that Showtime's in a desperate position. Now, if Clem realized what the armies were like and the supplies, he would actually push and just win the game right now. But he does not know that. So after seeing no 4th, it's kind of like, wait, do I need to push? Should I just make sure I don't die right now? He might be tempted to just hang around. But if he catches this army, oh, it's going to be cornered. Get out of there, Showtime. Run. Gets a lib, which is real nice. Gets a ghost for a stalker. Not bad. DT runs in, is like, haha, I have a son. EMP hits it, takes it out. DT goes back in the main. So after 17 SCV kills, Showtime is up a handful of workers, which is still not great for Protoss. Fourth base is about halfway done. We got Disruptors pumping out. Still single Forge. Don't get me wrong, Clem's a god. He's not immune to Disruptors, guys. Don't get it in your head these Disruptors can't do anything. He's favored right now. He's ahead. He's looking good. He normally does really... Oh, he EMPs his own Medivacs. Oh, actually EMP'd 3 of his own Medivacs there. Clem getting a bit sloppy on that one. Another Lib goes down. And Disruptor's very good versus Mines as well. Go! Oh, good force fields, but nah. If there's one man who knows how to kick you in the nuts, it's Clem. For those who don't know, Clem was bullied in high school quite a lot. He said, oh, you nerd, why don't you play Call of Duty like real chads? And he learnt that the best way to stand up to the bullies was to run up to them full speed and kick them in the nuts. And that's exactly what he does to Protoss players. Showtime's a much larger man than Clem. But, you know what? Size doesn't matter when the Terran kicks you in the balls. As I say that, ooh! Some of the balls starting to land here. Some of the balls do actually start to land. Showtime hangs on. The medevac count still survives, though. And that's a problem. That's a problem, man. Those medevacs surviving is what's making things so hard. Now, Zealot Runby comes in. Widowmine friendly fires some SCVs. The main base is actually wide open right now. He pulled the Widowmines out of there, so I'd love to see Showtime hit that main. I do think Showtime needs to be a little bit more YOLO into the main base. Just looking at this from a bird's eye view, as we get to see as a caster, I get to see everything. I think the main base of Clem has got to be the kind of underbelly, the soft underbelly of the dragon. I feel like he's such an aggressive Terran. There are weaknesses, there are little holes. It's just easy to feel like there aren't any of those weaknesses, specifically because he's so in your face and you forget about them. But as I say it, Widowmine drop comes in. Zealots and DTs warping in the main. Ooh, wee. Those don't really get any big damage. They get one probe, but he actually didn't set it off. If Showtime accidentally goes back in with his probes before setting off the other Widowmine, no, he does set it off. He's okay. Oh my god, he saves a Widowmine because he's Clem. For those who don't know, if you don't speak StarCraft, maybe you're new to watching StarCraft esports, Clem is synonymous with God. Oh! Ow, 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 ow. Oh no, he's going to lose a few Disruptors there. Ow, that's really bad. That's a bunch of damage. It does take out some mines, but he's going to lose his base at the same time. And it looks like Clem, he's been ahead for a long time in this game after just fantastic double Widowmine drop. It's just a little bit of a different opening, you know? It was still a big macro opening, just 2 medevacs, each with 2 Widowmines. It wasn't the non-stop Widowmine dropping, non-stop reacted mines, non-stop medevacs that we see Maru do. But, yeah, I mean, some good desperate counterattacks. He does take out the 4th. DT's come in, but a good repair there, hangs on. And the kick to the nuts. Like I said, it's his trademark move. A lot of balls go out at once. Some of them connect, but he loses so many balls in the process. And at this point, Showtime is like survivor of 400 fucking relapses of testicular cancer or something. It's crazy, man. Thankfully he's Protoss, so you can make a lot of balls. We got a game 5, which is very exciting. So like I said, Showtime I think had perfect build orders. Map 1, map 2. Clem though is so solid, and yeah, it's hard to keep. It's hard to trick him. It's hard to catch him out. I wonder if we see a return to the Phoenix opening from game 1. I feel like Clem, in my experience, looks the least Clemish, aka godlike, when people do Phoenix openings and stop him from getting momentum in the early game. At the same time, I have seen them just roll them a bit later. Phoenix openings can be a little bit fragile in this like point where you transition into the mid game. So I understand why Protoss players don't want to do it too much. But if you can kind of do it like that map 1 build, it'd be good. Game 5 is Zen. Yes, crazy map. This will be fun. Good luck, have fun, fellow Sydney Snyder, says HCam earlier. Oh, thank you, mate. Sorry, I said thanks for the sub, but I didn't read your message. Hope you're having a good morning, mate. The build is a stupid gamble, says Oz Chobo. I reserve my right to be a guy in the chat making crazy judgments. What do you mean? You mean the Widowmine drop? Or do you mean... I don't know if you guys were talking about the Widowmine. If you guys are talking about the Widowmine drop there, I think Widowmine drop can be a little bit of a gamble if you suck mechanically, for sure. But if you're Clem level of mechanics, like what I find is there's so much skill-based juggling of the Widow Mines, choosing when to go in and go out, and how often you save the mines, that it feels like it's not a random at all. It's purely based off the skill of both players, which is super cool. Speaking of awesome players, I mean, he's had a 2-0 lead. It's always hard when you're winning 2-0, and then at this point you feel like it's all sliding away from you. Remember, guys, this is 300 USD prize pool. If anyone's got info on the split on that, let me know in chat. I forget. I gotta look that shit up. I know I'm pretty sure since it's $300, it wouldn't be winner takes all. I'm not sure if it goes to top 4 or what, or if it's just, you know, 75, 25%. I don't know. Down here in the bottom left, I really want to see him bring out a clever build. I'm not saying I want Showtime to straight up win, but what I feel like he was so smart with his builds in game 1 and game 2. And he did great with them. I want to see him bring out another clever opening. It is Showtime. He's defaulted to probe scouting. The problem for Showtime is Showtime doesn't usually feel good taking gambles in game 5. He's such a macro-based player, right? Upper in the top right, the Red Terran. He's an absolute monster. It's Clem. Yeah, so Clem is one of these godlike mechanical micro-focused levels of Terran, and one of the things that you're going to notice is when you play against this sort of Terran, it feels like it's unfair. So just for anyone out there, don't get me wrong. Everyone complains about balance in different ways and stuff, and this is fair, unfair, that's not fair, this is overpowered. But this is not a balance complaint. This is just talking about the experience, which you guys have never played against Innovation, you've never played against Flash, Maru, Clem. I want to tell you guys, I've played against this level of Terran many times. I used to play Innovation all the time on ladder if he was laddering a weird time. Now obviously it's not like we were near each other's MMR and he would get almost no MMR from me, but it was this different level where you're playing. We saw Clem just rip Hero Marines Reapers apart before, right? In what looked like an almost even battle. And it's just this tiny little twitching micro. The way they use their units, it feels unfair. And if you give them an inch, they will take a mile. And it feels like there's nothing you can do about it. Like once the avalanche starts of them finding an opening, you feel like you're always one step behind. You're just trying to like minimize losses, like because their units are faster, more microable when they're using stim. They're using all that stuff. Apparently it's 400 USD, 200 for first, 100 for second, 50 for third, and 50 for fourth. Awesome. That's sick prize. That's really good for a weekly cup. Obviously, we just had the the Korean one. You guys can let me know the results of that one in chat as well, and that'd be pretty cool. Should be sick. But yeah. Anyway, basically, it's a different thing playing against these players. Now, Showtime's gonna maybe even wait for 2 oracles and then just dive the mineral line, which could be cool. It is gonna be. Ooh, that's a quick second barracks. So Clem's already thinking about some sort of push in the future. Dropping mules. Anytime you see quick barracks, there's some really fast pushes that open up. So we'd expect to see a tech lab and then 2 upgrades queuing one at a time off that. The Adept is here. The Oracle's flying across. Gets in, gets out. Second gateway's up. We've got a second Oracle on the way. First Oracle is going to hunt down the... That's interesting. I think he just showed that. Yeah, Viking starts up. I guess, did he already see the Stargate? Oh, he saw the Stargate earlier. Never mind, I'm an idiot. I was like, why is he not hiding his Oracle? I'm like, the Reaper saw it much earlier. Pay attention, pig. The Oracle is going to take out the Reaper. Not a bad choice. Turns off its laser beam. So 2 Oracles. It's going to go for 3. Stim. 3 Marines at a time. Reactor going down there. Reactor there. So Medivacs, Mines, lots of Marines with Stim. I'll tell you what that does to Oracles, guys. It fucks Oracles up. Please don't build a 4th Oracle. Those Adepts have got to shade across. If he wants to hit this Adept Oracle timing, he's got to go now. I think he's taking a little long to bring that Adept with it, boys. It's going to be 8 Adepts. Might even wait for those last 2. Ooh, no Widow Mines out yet. As long, obviously a bunker beats these units, but the thing is without Stim, Marines don't actually do much damage. So he can just get in and kill as many SCVs as he wants. He's going to trade a lot of army for a lot of worker kills here. So the thing is, as Showtime with this deck, you actually need to kill a lot of Marines as well. If you don't kill a lot of Marines... Oh, there was a Widow Mine there, but he does actually hurt a lot of the SCVs. Oracles take on the Marines. 1 Oracle falls. The Adepts getting gunned down. Oh, Showtime just got dipped. Okay, I mean, the Oracle's getting more kills up in the main, but the Viking chases it off. Those 2 Adepts running back. That was not enough kills. He killed very few Marines, and he only got 7 SCVs, so great defense by Clem. That one Widow Mine, even though it damaged some SCVs, did massive damage to the Adepts. I think it might have even clipped one or 2 of the Oracles. I don't think it did, actually. I think it was just the Adepts, but now we've got like 2 Sentries and an Immortal. And remember, Clem was already set up for a pretty fast push. 2 Medivacs, 2 Mines, a Pack of Bio with Stim. Yeah, Shields is only now starting, but +1's almost done. He's got 2 Barracks pumping. Like, you got no army. What are you gonna fight this with? An Immortal, 3 Sentries, a Stalker, and 2 Adepts. I mean, Showtime's on the back foot from the get-go. He's up economically, but look at this push. It's only a small number of units, but it's all he needs. The Viking comes in at the same time. Ooh, he's clicking on the Robo. Oh no, he gets the Robo. The Hallucinate tries to activate the mines, but he unburrows, snipes the Hallucination, gets a Sentry, gets another Sentry. The barrier's down on that Immortal. Oh, hot pickup. Oh no. Oh, Clem shuts down the Adept Oracle. I mean, it was a good mix-up from Showtime. He's trying to not be predictable. His Stalker will defend there, but not before that Viking takes out 3 or 4 probes. And even just this little squad of Stim Bio, there's no charge or anything yet. There's no micro ability for Showtime. And whilst he will hang on here, he's taken a real bruising. Most importantly, the Robo going down. He's trying to build a single Phoenix so he has something to shoot down these Medivacs. But look, another double drop going towards the 3rd, and oh, this is going to be rough. I think he's hoping Clem unloads here and walks into the stasis trap, but that's just not going to happen. And look at this, no anti-air. The Medivacs are like, cool, we can just drop here. The army has to chase him. Oh, he doesn't go into the stasis. And guess what? Those Widow Mines, man. That's our problem. Good spready. Good spready by Showtime, actually. Some nice gymnastics. If there's anyone who can hang on from here, I guess it is Showtime. So you might look at this and go, hey, worker count's still good. Showtime's got this pig. Talk about the state of the game. No. 3rd base is done. 4th and 5th barracks is on the way. 1-1's about to finish. First 0-0 upgrades. And Clem's still got forward units on the map against a player with no blink, no forge upgrades. Showtime is knee deep in doo-doo. And I tell you, I hope he knows how to swim through the sewers, because he needs to do some fucking scrappy as fuck PvT to get back in this game. Okay, stasis trap. That helps. That helps him hang on, helps him stabilize. He's going Templar Archives. He's just rebuilding his Robo now. Losing the Robo, man. Ooh, that's so bad. Note to self, don't build your Robo in the main. Ooh, Phoenix do a good job. Couple Widow Mine shots do get off. Good pullback on the Zealots, though. The Zealots. Do you know why they're called Zealots, guys? It's because they're very Zelos. That's the word, right? Zelos? Yeah. Well, looks like he might actually be able to bridge this chasm for now. You know, I thought there was a big chasm between Showtime and victory, but he does push this army back. Zealots and Phoenix come forward. I'd just like to see a few more Archons added in to really help him close the chasm. But great Stim micro. Widow Mine shot gets down, and then it looks like there's just too much Terran. The chasm is ever widening. The Zealots are not enough. There are 0-0 Zealots against 1-1 Bio. And without Archons to back it up, I think Showtime, he's going to have a real struggle in his hands defending this non-stop parade push from Clem. It's actually time for my tournament to start. The bracket's about to go live for the American one, so it's kind of perfect timing here. The Phoenix do end up doing some damage. I wonder if Clem queues for the American tournament straight away. Wouldn't that be funny? If he wins this and then just goes into the next one. I'll stop saying words wrong to piss you guys off. I actually get super triggered when people say things wrong, but I just do think that Clem is such a good player. He's played so well, so textbook. He's adding ghosts. They're actually rallying across the map right now to reinforce this. It's a handful of Phoenix, a lot of Zealots. Remember, 0-0 upgrades versus 1-1. Tries to pull the Widow Mine shots on the bio, but a quick unburrow there from Clem, and then he does clam the door shut on Showtime. There's just too much bio, so much medevac healing, more mines coming forward. The Phoenix are out of energy, and Clem, the absolute god, shuts it down, man. It's a reversal. How many times are we going to have a reversal? Showtime is up 2-0. Clem brings it back with 3 wins in a row. He says, you're out of builds. You can't trick me no longer. You got me with the surprise in game 1 with the cheeky Phoenix opening. And some really nice Archon Colossus Zealot push. All right, all right. You got me with the cheeky DT. He's got an advantage on Everdream. But from there, he stabilized and shut that series down. GG, well played. Clem is your European EPT champion. GG.